Fortnite Halloween seasons tend to follow a pretty simple formula. Launch the season around August-September, release one or two updates, and then round it out with a big Fortnitemares update. We can see this in seasons like Chapter 3 Season 4, Chapter 4 Season 4, Chapter 5 Season 4, Chapter 6 Season 4. I think I'm noticing a pattern here. But one season stands out among the rest. Chapter 1 Season 6.
He was special.
Out of every season that has been, and is yet to come, this will always be my personal favourite. The atmosphere, the loot pool, and most importantly, the LTMs. So today, I'm going to look back at the OG spooky season, since it's seasonally appropriate and all. So hold on to your tomato head, and let's get Picture this, it's late September 2018, and you and your homies just watched that weird purple cube roll around the island for a full month before dissolving into Loot Lake. And then you log on the next day and see this. Yeah, it would probably be a little bit exciting.
Barnacle boy.
But outside of that, the Cube event itself was kinda the build up to the season. I don't think this was as impactful as the Rift event for Season 5, but that's probably because that was just a much more in real life event, whilst the Cube was kinda just a Fortnite thing. If you asked your granny who this MF was, she would have no clue. But it's still pretty important for people who actually play Fortnite. What's the first thing you do in a new Fortnite season? Obviously, you look at the Battle Pass. And this one is kinda cheeks, to be honest.
Excuse me, sir. I hope my horrible ugliness won't be a distraction to you.
Not at all, boy!
Okay, listen. This was my first Battle Pass in any game ever, but nowadays it does not hold up at all. I think this is objectively the worst aspect of this season. And the funny part is that this pass had some of the best skins of the whole chapter in its first few pages.
Okay, you're good to go.
And the first 3 skins are so good that it just makes the fall off even more noticeable. We start the pass with DJ Yonder and Calamity. I'm not gonna mention it. Then you get Giddy Up, the peak of Fortnite skin design. Then we crash and burn with Fib. Then Dust. Then Nightshade. And then First Form Dire. It's okay. We also got 2 new cosmetic types, music packs and pets. Music packs are pretty based. You're probably hearing the eerie one now or at some point in the video. But pets are literally just backblings with extra animations. They're made. But comparing this pass to the ones that came before and after it, yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say this is the worst pass of Chapter 1. The next thing you look at is obviously the map, which is much better than it looks. Although it may look like there's barely any difference from above, all the mini corruption zones and fog effects actually made the season feel really unique. Plus, that floating island was
Something else.
It was the most unique addition the game had seen up to this point. It was great for rotating, and it also made Loot Lake a much better POI. Okay, now it's time to take a look at the part you actually care about. The loot pool! Oh my god, it's so cool, wow. No! As far as I can tell from my research, Fortnite Wiki, there were no new weapons added on day 1 of Season 6. The only new item that was added were the Shadow Stones, which are actually pretty cool. You could turn into a spooky ghost.
There's something behind you.
But then again, is adding nothing really a bad thing? I mean, yeah, nothing's really different, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. problem was it was broke, so they still did
If you
fix it.
can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Epic vaulted Impulses, the LMG, the Silenced SMG, Bouncers, and C4. Damn, that's a lot. I can definitely understand vaulting the LMG and the Impulses because both are just outdated as better versions of both already exist, and removing the Silenced SMG makes sense because Epic were trying to make a more shotgun-dominated meta for this season, and removing spammy weapons kinda just made sense. But Bouncers and C4 weren't going to impact that, so their exclusion just kind of feels weird.
Mum, this tastes different. Did you put anything different in it?
I put a bit of wine.
First update of this season was 6.01, which added chillers. Yippee. Okay, these are a fine addition. They're by no means a replacement for the Bouncers, and I really don't get why they didn't just wait until Season 7 to add these. I mean, they're literally an ice trap that's not really gonna scream Halloween. But I guess they're a fine addition, they don't hurt. Then there was 6.02, which added the quad launcher, which is literally a walking all bark no bite message. It looks extremely scary to fight, but really it's a low damaging, slow firing pellet gun. Finally, a bigger update. 6.1 added a whole new vehicle, the Quad Crasher. Easily the most fun vehicle added in the entirety of Chapter 1. You could literally use this thing to fly away. It was amazing. For some reason, Fortnite started doing this weird, dark and mysterious poem thing to build up to Fortnitemares. I'll give you a dramatic reading.
Tombstones quake. Keep your fingers steady. The circle is close. You better be ready.
Either way, Halloween 2018 was upon us, and Fortnite was ready to celebrate with the biggest mid-season update the game had ever gotten up to that point. First, we got the 6-shooter. It's fine. Yeah, I don't actually mind the concept of the 6-shooter, but in practice, it's just really, really mid. There's no real reason to actually use it over a pistol or even a hand cannon. Then there was the Fiend Hunter crossbow, which outside of its very niche use for killing cube monsters, which also got added this update, it was god-awful for actual fights against real players. Okay, fine. I'll talk about them. The cube monsters were not that bad. There, I said it. If you died to these guys, then I'm sorry, but you just get destroyed in a normal fight anyway. Yes, they're extremely annoying if you're already low and just trying to heal, but if you just kept your distance and shot at them, then you'd be chilling. The general vibe at this time was unmatched. The purple mist, the portal in the sky, and all the Halloween decorations really gave the game a spooky atmosphere. Also, the Cube Island split into 3 after traveling around the island. I completely forgot to mention this, but it was essentially the same thing as when Kevin rolled around, so you're not really missing much. Also, randomly, the Crash Battle Bus by Shifty Shafts got moved over to Lazy Links, and the Pumpkin Launcher came back after a whole year of absence. Just extra things I forgot to mention. 6.21 was another smaller update. Epic disabled the experimental glider redeploy feature, as well as the guided missile, which actually got fully deleted from the files. Other vaultings included the semi-auto sniper and the dual pistols, but we got balloons. Balloons used to be completely useless. You couldn't use any weapons while floating, they were unnecessarily rare, and they made you a priority target. They sucked. All good things must come to an end, and we saw that happen on November 4th, 2018 with the so-called Butterfly event. Kevin cracked open and span around for a bit, and then showed us some white void with a butterfly in it. Although this may be extremely underwhelming now, this was Epic's first attempt at a live in-game update, with Loot Lake being completely changed mid-game, and the removal of cube monsters. Also, it was the first time we saw a cinematic during an event with this shot with the butterfly, so that's pretty cool. We also got the heavy AK around this time, but I remembered that it used to be super rare when it was first added. I swear, that thing was harder to find than the Epstein flight logs. We also got the best secret skin of all time around this update. AIM was one of the most unique looking skins in the game when it first launched, and I kinda think it paved the way for the more out there skins we have today. We didn't see the next update till November 14th with the addition of the mounted turret. This is easily one of the most splitting items in the game, as half the community thought it was useless and needed buffs, while the other thought it was extremely OP and needed to be nerfed. But trust me, things are only going to get more powerful from here. The final 2 updates of this season came out at the very end of November, but each only had one thing. The first one was 6.3, which added dynamite, which was literally just a worse grenade, and the second one added... oh my god.
Oh, damn! Go on. I'm swapping. I'm swapping. Get out of my server!
The purple and gold pump. Dear God, what a weapon. This thing was an absolute beast in terms of pure damage output. Just one blast to the skull and the match is over. But no matter how OP this thing might be, absolutely everybody loved it. And with that, the season came to a close on December 5th, 2018. I think it's important we go over all the LTMs out of the season to fully understand how important they were to the game back then. First was Disco Domination, which was actually the first LTM to add respawning, which has since become a core element of team-based modes. Aside from that, it's a pretty basic capture the flag mode, but it was still a ton of fun. Next we had Team Terror, which was pretty much just 50v50 but with zombies. It was pretty much just a way to play Fortnite mirrors after Halloween had already ended. Next we actually got 2 LTMs in one update. First was Wild West, which was pretty much just pubs but with Wild West themed items like dynamite, 6-shooters, and the double barrel.
You sick fuck! Logan was a hero!
And the other was Foot Fight, a PvP tower defense mode that felt Save the World coded, and it was definitely a highlight of the season, as it's still mine and many others' favorite LTM of all time. Lastly, the season ended with the addition of that mode.
That fucking bird that I hate!
That fucking bird that I hate! That fucking bird that I hate!
That fucking bird that I hate!
Team Rumble, which has obviously become a mainstay, got its start in Season 6 as an LTM. I really don't know what else to say. It's a very basic team deathmatch mode, but at its release it was very fun and original. Although I didn't mention everything that happened this season, stuff like the Tomato vs. Durburger War or the Wreck-It Ralph cameo, I've covered what I believe to be the quintessential parts of this season. Overall, I think this season is by far the most underrated from Chapter 1. Many loved it and many hated it, but all in all, I still think this is one of the most solid and enjoyable seasons of all time. Although I think this season is objectively a 6 out of 10 for all the experimental features added, but that's not something Epic's usually willing to do nowadays. They shot for the moon, and although they missed, they still landed amongst the weird purple vortex thing in the sky, and I respect that. For that reason, I would personally give this season a 9 out of 10.